Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. Are we all sorted? Yes. Okay, why is that there again? Streamlabs. Life goes on, huh? The world revolves, and so do we all. Okay, that's working. Okay. Okay. Just gotta wait for the wifey. And everything will be okay. Achoo. Good lord. Rosie is here. The wifey. Hi, beautiful. You're making tea? What's your tea? Tell me more. Give me all of the informations about, tea. Tell me. I want to know. Rosie, tell me about your tea. What's the tea that you've obtained? Inform me. Tell me more. White chocolate caramel. Oh, and it's coffee. That sounds tasty. Coffee rules. Did you know this? Especially powdered coffee. I'm like so into it and stuff. I don't know what I'm fucking saying. Jesus Christ. It's been 20 minutes of waiting room. So how about I start this? I think that would be good. And we have our music off now. It's just a flavor. There's no caffeine or coffee in it. But the flavor is good. Well, that's good. Anyway, how about we go to our scene? And I remembered that because my computer crashed, I don't have VideoTube open. There we go. By which I mean, there we go. Hello. What is up, y'all? It's me, the cute and lovable Odyssey. And I still have this, so why not use it, you know? Have a little talkster. Everyone loves a little talkster, sometimes. And by putting myself in the corner, I can be in the corner. Hello! Heaven Will Be Mine is a video game that we can play. And by utilizing the power of the hide on hide button, it can be made to exist here on my screen. Wowee. It's kind of insane. It's kind of demented. And yet, here we are. Okay, right. I have a chat over here. I have a video game here. I can start new game. The game wants me to select Saturn. Hi, Julia! We're just in time. We're about to begin. The video game is here. The start menu is playing. I'm not overwhelmed by emotions this time. So I am hoping to be able to approach this with a level head and open mind. But today we will be trying out Lunaterra's route. Question mark. I don't know if that's in any way a thing that you could use to describe the paths of this game. We'll be trying out playing Lunaterra. Lunaterra's faction is the Memorial Foundation. Her self-ship is the Merecrisium. She's the Memorial Foundation's ace pilot, fighting for the pilots to join the rest of humanity back on Earth before it's too late. She's good at sniping, espionage, double-crossing, and ghosting. She's bad at loving herself and everything else. I don't think you should be good at ghosting people. I don't think that that's a life skill worth cultivating. But we'll see. Oh. The Memorial Foundation's UI is here. From the Division of Existential Safety, Conflict-Enabled Self-Ship, Archetype Model, First Flight, July 16th, 1969. Place of manufacture, Sea of Crises, Earth's Moon, our hope for a throne of the soul, for the Memorial Foundation International Space Program and all humanity. Interesting. Until no one is forgotten, and all are remembered. Registering pilot. Welcome, pilot first class, Lunaterra. Multiple maintenance issues and critical issues detected. Oh. We can't launch until all of these maintenance issues are sorted. Let's see what they are. Maintenance errors. There is a possible sensor failure. Several limb connections are not registering. No weapons are loaded. That's not good. Critical errors. Mass alert 1. Healing failure on critical area near core. Possible bleed. Tidal core is resonating at levels harmful to the pilot. Oh no! Ready manual firmware update. I think these things are bad for your machine to tell you. Upgrades detected. Syncing. Accepted manual internal mechanism firmware update. Switched ammunition to conceptual modes. Custom sensors loaded. Dynamic limb optimization loaded. Oh! 198 1.1.7. Weapon loadout, drivers loaded. Details, mass alert 1. I bleed 2. Recording derived from the data burned 4-dimensionally into the wounds. Oh! What a fucking sentence to read. Interesting. Recording derived from the data burned 4-dimensionally into the wound, suffered by this unit almost 1 year ago. Wound self-generated by forced overloading, tearing the core open during sustained conflict in the Mars-Ares regression campaign. All critical systems have naturally healed, yet the wound continues to bleed into space. Fuel efficiency lowered. Oh god, I can't check my volumes. Okay, that's not necessarily any higher than my voice. Healing speed reduced and tidal reactor speed cannot be regulated. What a fucking background track. It is strongly recommended that you seek the assistance of a full maintenance team. Lack of understanding of the full effects of gravitational conflict on the human gestalt means that this computer cannot provide adequate instruction on therapeutic measures. Permanently disable Mass Alert 1. Really ignore? Yes. Provide reason. I can handle it. Yeah. Automatic scan alert shows that this may not be a very good reason. Would you like to provide another? Nope. Mass Alert 1 disabled. Details Mass Alert 2. Powder reactor has had unauthorized modification that is causing an unsustainable chain reaction. Notice, this ship is not equipped to handle prolonged operation at this capacity. Increasing short-term output may cause long-term failures. Also, gravitational stability may cause fracturing and instability in pilot. Permanently disable Mass Alert 2. This Mass Alert cannot be disabled by pilot authorization. Ooh. Alert disabled. For record-keeping purposes, please input the reason. I'm fine. Oh, Lunaterra, I don't think you're fine. I think that what you're doing is not normal. But also I understand it on a personal level. This is how I also act in my life as a pilot. Ship's elf, Meracrisium, is in spacefaring condition. We're cleared to launch. Disable launcher OS and engage catapult. All controls given to pilot. There's a message for you. Cancel. Refused. This message will be automatically played. Europa, letting you keep this is my gift to you, Lunaterra. Your favorite and loosest leash. Prove to me you've learned not to choke on it. Oh ho ho ho! I've got an incoming message. My standing orders have been updated. Oh, we get to see Lunaterra. Oh, what an interesting cockpit. I can't remember anything of the first time I played this game. Aside from not liking how it was structured, so... I love to see Lunaterra in color. It's that urgent, it's too late. If it's not too late, it can wait. Her little face! She's so smug about her self-destructive life decisions. Let me enjoy the view of the rings. They are beautiful. Even though there's only so long you can watch them before even the sight of the six planets' rings becomes as boring as a blue sky. Meracrisium's sensors render them in every detail, using every sense as perfectly as she always has. You really are getting old, aren't you? Both me and you. I should probably listen to Control and throw you out and get a new one. That doesn't seem right. You're only supposed to get one body. What if I haven't been very good to you? I could never throw you out. Woohoo! We're all we've got. Oh, let's look at the Meracrisium. There's her scar. The Meracrisium is the test-type model. It was made as a proof of concept. It isn't the first vessel made to grant humans locomotion and life in space, but it is the first to allow for outward expression. In all kinds of ways. It can do so many things. They gave it devices for everything, because they hadn't estimated how powerful tidal engines would become, or what sort of things humans would really want to do in space. It's the first machine meant for conflict, but it's also the last machine that was meant for other things too. Oh, that's what a fucking combination of sentences. A ceremonial tin soldier made to impress. An impossible to use machine. Mind machine or biofeedback interfacing is necessary to give humans control over a second body, but the Miracrisium is done completely manual. Oh my goodness. Makes Lunaterra sort of a genius and sort of an idiot, that she can't do things any other way. I'm having so much fun, it's hard to believe it was going to be over so soon. No, I love it when old things are over. You would. New things begin. Open the channel. Let's hear those standing orders. It's January 1st, 1980, in the long and cold war, where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars, has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we've been fighting a war against an existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. Interesting. It's a pretty stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it? There's enough of a mess down here to worry about. Humanity is already the undisputed authority of reality. We have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. Before Earth takes us back in pieces, let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, the Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety, haha, in agreement with our home planet's unanimous decision, declare there is no future for humanity in space. Let's come home. The Return Resolution, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. Interesting. What a hook. It's January 1st, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light without the gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity! To power the ship selves we made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now! Enough to make a new world, free from the weight of Earth. If Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our Cradle's graces, but we're not coming back. The Independence Declaration of Cradle's Graces. It's January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by a divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretical malevolent entity outside the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat. And when they do, they'll send real weapons, and end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? Technically less than 100% human. Just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring out final piece, the prototype ship self String of Pearls. We made in the atmosphere of planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn, to the lunar gravity well, where Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces are already headed. Whoever controls the place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we're just short of 100% human. So let's see how much less than 100% we can get. An internal report, Celestial Mechanics. Here's our 3 factions for 3 girls. Oh dear. Okay, we've got 2 things to do. And we've also got mails and alerts. Let's read them. Subject: a justification for return. Origin: Memorial Foundation Declaration of Intent. Author: General Emissary Halamede. Thank you, Julia. JoJo designed it for me. It's my uh, my Path to Nowhere OC Odyssey. She is here. Okay, right. Game, right. Reading it. uh mm. What does Halamede have to say? Earth is not the sphere of our home planet. It is not the physical body, which is called Terra, the home of life. It is not measured in mass or by its gravity, its position in the universe. Earth is us. We measure Earth by culture. We are the Earth, humanity, the particles of its mass, and by our gravity its body is formed. By our diversity and multiplicity, Earth exists, the living miracle of humanity's shared power, insignificant unless we are joined. This international space program, with representatives all across Earth, represents our commitment to peace, that humanity will never seek again to destroy itself, that humanity has the right to eternal life, invincible bodies, and unrestricted movement in space. As humanity expands beyond this sphere, is existent as extensions of the universal human right of life, culture, and freedom. To protect the growth and sanctity of all culture, ensure a future for humanity, and the defeat of our enemy. On this day, we inaugurate the International Memorial Foundation Space Program. That's really interesting. This has presumably been sitting in Lunaterra's box for a while. It's something to think about. And these are things that the Memorial Foundation used to espouse. And at this stage, have done a full 180. Like, hey, stop existing outside of our sphere of influence, please. Subject: Cold War Ace reports. Lunaterra. Yeah, I agree with you, Rosie. Origin: First generation pilot research declassification. Author: Memorial Foundation Existential Safety. Okay, let's read about Lunaterra. She was unremarkable. I did not remember her at first. Took any of those who wanted badly to live in space and did not fit in on Earth. In retrospect, we were asking for a rather unique quality. It is not just a coincidence that she was there. The pilots had to be young adults, pacifiscal, and not care what space might do to their body. It's not so surprising that someone like her would emerge from that pool of people, but the woman you know today has been iterated on since she was an adolescent. Be assured, I saw nothing of promise in her when I first met her. I told her that myself, as I told all the students. I am uninterested in your potential. We're judged by the self we create. I find that encourages brats to not take their specialness so seriously. That was not Lunaterra's problem. Piece by piece, she created someone very interesting to be. We gave those children permission, and Lunaterra was simply unique in her execution. She was never encouraged, she was never punished. We'll never find another prodigy like Lunaterra by looking for tidily sensitive children, because they do not exist. We will not find them pre-made. They must create themselves. Was this not the dream of the Memorial Foundation space program? Hoo. Hmm. Subject: Just come and get me. A combat communications project. Oh, you think you're so cool, don't you? Well, watch your back, because I'm coming for you. Think that #1 position is going to last? Not a chance. In fact, why don't we have a little duel about it? If you're not too scared. Come meet me in the shadow of Olympia Mons, and we'll make this time you're the one left splattered and helpless and pinned on the side of a mountain. Not me, like the last 9 times. Also, would it kill you to, like, stick around for a bit after? Smug jerk. Not that I'm planning on losing. This time I'm gonna beat you. Ooh, who's this now? Who could this be? Oh, we've got some comms. Pilot, first class. Don't send me messages. Yeah. Europa, Director of Combat Operations, Memorial Foundation, Existence from Safety. She's not your mom. So, you really have betrayed us, haven't you? I've never betrayed anyone in my entire life. But seriously, whose side are you on right now? It sounds so accusatory to put it like that. You know I'm fine with you being on whoever's side you choose. So I can destroy them and drive you back to me. That may end up being a lot of people. What, you don't think I'm up for it? Don't worry yourself about that part, kitten. If you want me to defect back, you could always just ask. Oh, sweet girl, I'm not interested in you coming back so you can walk away again. How many times did Halamede fall for that? Shouldn't count for tricking her if she knew it was coming every time. Oh, stop it. Hate it when you're being modest. It's so beneath you. Give her at least the dignity of a subtle seduction. I would have. That's not what she wanted. She really ought to think about her reputation more. What more is there to say about the trail of messes you leave? Well, my disappointment in you both is total. My adorable failures. What am I to do with you? You should go easy on her. I live to spoil her. Make no mistake that everything she deserves will be visited on you. I wouldn't dream of not letting you have that. You have to know by now how aware I am of what you want and deserve. You're so good to me, Europa. I don't deserve it. When I double cross you again, be sure to really let me have it. I hope you do. But I take no chances with loyalty. Halamede merely hopes you will change. I think it's charming that even you believe that might I think it's charming that even you believe that might have some effect on you, but I know much better than you can. I won't let you return no matter how much you beg, until you have no other choice. When you can't pivot or run or trick your way through, when you can't second guess or lie, that's the only way to change the nature of yours. Channel closed. Ooh, very interesting. We have 2 missions. Which are we going to do? I think we're going to hang out with Saturn. I think we're going to hang out with Saturn. This is going to be the Lunaterra Saturn run. And that's okay. We have the gravity map here. Gonna do a quick save over here. Just gonna make sure that the chat is all good. Okay. And oh, that's not where I meant to click on the game at all. Yeah, we are going to hang out with Saturn. I am sorry, Pluto. We will see what you're like when we see what you're like. Ooh, music. I mean, I've heard this before theoretically, but objective insight, opening channel to base. Oh, we've got a Captain A. Captain, I'm bored. Captain, this sucks. Well, you heard them, Europa. Tell those idiots to be careful what they wish for, because the mission parameters have changed. As you know, Celestial Mechanics have been operating a clandestine ship self-development lab with an experimental prototype, in violation of the terms of the Memorial Foundation Space Program Decommission Treaty. And we are on a top-secret surprise attack to take out the last operational shipyard. Make sure we never have to find out what Celestial Mechanics have been planning to do with it. Couldn't be more obvious what happens, but go ahead and brief me anyway. No points for guessing. The prototype already launched, rendering most of the base inoperable. We lost contact almost instantly. Find it before it leaves Kronos' gravitational field. Oh great. What a bane! Weren't you just bored? There's no way to find it. It's as good as gone. There is a chance that the ship self is still nearby, so get to work. Oh, yeah, this is... Bravo. Evade now. Now. I've got nothing kept... Bubblegum pink electricity sparks off the ice and dust of the inner ring like a lightning bolt, and through his ship self, he doesn't get even the slightest chance. Captain... Day. Don't listen and you don't have any right to complain. Right, Europa? Oh wait, that was Lunaterra saying that. Fuck. I mean, I'm not doing like particularly distinct voices, but shit. Fuck. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, still live. Connection is still good. Don't listen and you don't have any right to complain. Right, Europa? What a callous attitude you have. Who did you learn that from? The best. Preparing to engage. I wish Europa would stop sending me boys who can't control themselves. Having fun dismantling my escorts? With a string of Pearl's fingers, Saturn carefully peels the mechanical musculature out of the poor ship's arm she's holding. A souvenir of the last of Lunaterra's escorts that she sent crying too easily back to their boss. Back to their base. It's still sparking and oozing. Saturn wishes her ship had a mouth so she could suck it out like crab meat. Maybe it does have a mouth. The machine has many mysteries the manual doesn't explain. Saturn is still learning them. Though I suppose Europe has learned her lesson about sending me girls who can't control themselves. Fucking... Fucking Lunaterra. Oh, really? Hey, that's really interesting. Mind telling me more? Oh, she's a hacker too? How amusing. There's nothing too interesting on this conf, kids see. Aw, you flatter me. But hey, what did that mean exactly? Part about the girls who can't control themselves? I really want to hear more. Means back out that talk first. Or can you land a hit off the comms? Lunaterra's gravitational field focuses to a single point. Lunaterra isn't budging. She's been through much worse, and so has her ship, followed always by a thin trail from a bleeding wound she could never completely repair. The Mericrisium is over 2 decades old, but Saturn can't even land a hit. It's regal and stiff, dressed in cold metallics, weathered and refurbished, the archetypal prototype for all other ship cells, still going after all these years. Still furiously untouchable. The string of pearls hasn't gone down no matter how much she's been rammed with that sphere, but she hasn't even nicked Lunaterra's ship once. Not bad at all for a joyride. You can't get one hit in. Good thing you don't win by looking cool. No mercy for newbies? No. Lunaterra puts a stake of solid light through the string of pearl's leg, pins it to its own Gauss wrapper. It doesn't hurt at all. The ship's metals begin molding and reforming around the wound immediately. A ridiculous, unfair advantage. Saturn has no right to complain. But she still wants to. But she is trying to be cool. Everyone wants to when in the quiet gleam of that always bleeding ship. That's a pretty amazing ship. Think it will last? Either you're fighting just for fun, because you're that reckless, or you're caught in your own containment wrapper and can't escape orbit yet. And you'd beat me for sure if I played around. I'm not done yet. That's not true. It's actually very difficult to move with a solid light bullet in your leg, but she's not going to let that stop her. Saturn is suddenly closer than she logically could be, claws bubbling, but Lunaterra effortlessly slips away and kicks Saturn's ship directly in the chest. Yeah, you're done. The containment wrapper is still stuck to you, so your movement's off. Doesn't seem to have stopped you that much. Right? It was so rude of them to try to stop me. Seems cruel to take it away when you're having so much fun with it. Same as you, right? Do I know you? Everyone knows Memorial Foundation's a perfect ace. But do I know you? So I do, don't I? Let me out of this thing and I'll tell you. Why should I? Because you can't help yourself. Besides, don't you want a real fight? Can you promise it'll go different? I can promise it'll be more fun. You are asking me to totally abandon my duty to bring you back and do that instead? What? You won't? The legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation, the double-crossed the rebel she abandoned them for, can't be opposed to a little fooling around with... Oh, let me take another read of that. The legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation, then double-crossed the rebel she abandoned them for, can't be opposed to a little fooling around with the enemy. I guess you do know me. Want to trust each other? Or is it more fun if we don't? Okay. Here is what I have to decide. Is Lunaterra going to be cool? Or is Lunaterra going to fail constantly? Someone has to... Someone has to take a hit. I think that I am going to make the decision now. Yeah, I am the lesbian maniac. I am going to make the decision now that this is going to be the run where Saturn gets her ass kicked a lot. Because I have to choose something. Oh, but it's so good when Lunaterra gets her ass kicked. Oh, which do I choose? Yeah, Lunaterra deserves to be beaten up constantly, actually. This is the choice I am making. I'm impressed. Most people would be nervous to have a knife this near to their throat. It's not like you can hurt it, so there's nothing to be nervous about, is there? That's true. But you're so new to this. I thought your brain would be overriding the information from the ship. Maybe I'm not new to this. Oh? You're a candidate, so I think that might be true. But you're also trembling, so I think it's not completely true. I'm still very dangerous, you know, Lunaterra. I believe that for sure. You wouldn't be trembling if you were in my shoes. Less so. People tremble a lot. People tremble for a lot of different reasons, though. I don't have anything to fear, so please don't project that on me. Well, if you're fearless, what is it then? It could be anticipation, couldn't it? This is very foolish of me. It really is. I have you right where I want you, remember? That might mean that I have you, too. Your claws are twitching. I thought we promised not to trust each other. You still don't. Then you must really like living dangerously if you're still helping me. I'm having fun. I can tell. If you want to know so bad, that's why I didn't like you. Because you were a test pilot and never got to fly before the end of the Cold War, while idiots like me got to? I thought so. That's enough. Hold still. Everyone let you have as much fun as you wanted. You were a real huge jerk. I was always jealous of that. Everyone who let me get away with it regrets it now. There, done. Thanks! For all your hard work, I should leave you something to remember me by. Oh? Ready to fight for real? I sorta already did. And Saturn has left a claw scratch of hot pink poison seeping on Mayor Chrysium's thigh. How's that? I finally did get a hit on you. Good job. They break away, rocketing. Just a little love bite. Pay me back for it next time. Trust me, I will. Day 2. Celestial mechanics getting a little bit of gravity there. We've also got some mail and alerts. And some cons. What do we do first? First generation pilot candidate interviews, origin, leaked data packets, authors, space program intake archives. Okay, so we've got an interview with Lunaterra here. Why do you want to go to space? I want a new start. In what sense? To get rid of this weight. We are required to make it clear that the purpose of this program is not to leave Earth, but to expand it. The weight will follow you. Will it weigh differently? Please explain what you mean about what you said previously. About what? What do you mean when you say you don't want to be me? I don't know how else to say it. Isn't it obvious? You would want to be this. I don't understand what you see that is wrong with you. I do. You're saying that you, as you are, the person who you are, doesn't want to be you? Yes. Then you aren't that person. But that person weighs on me. So you would like to have the weight of being this other person that you are not. You would like that removed? Yes. Please. That may be possible. Subject: Pilot Program Progress. Origin: Memorial Foundation Executive Committee Annual Report. Author: Training Director, Europa. The Cold War is looking bleak. The threat from space is more flimsy, translucent, and inscrutable, when once it was so strong that all of humanity feared it. Existential threats on Earth are more pernicious than ever, and the scouts are not keeping up. It has become difficult to argue against the possibility that the scouting program has done more harm than good, and that goes just as much, if not more so, for the pilot program. Historically, death has always invited the enemy here in its greatest strengths. Humans can't resist killing each other long enough to protect themselves from the existential threat. It's easy to make this argument, but we have had little success with it. No matter how celebrated the slogan is, and no matter how many governments and leaders profess to live by it, the simple fact remains. The existential threat can never be as powerful as we are. Humans will always pose a greater threat to other humans than the existential threats will. It will always be easier for humanity to eliminate the threat by killing their own than by fighting the threat directly. While we have offered children and the unwanted to fight the existential threat with existential intent, humanity has turned its gaze inward rather than to the heavens, not even strong enough to pierce the atmosphere without burning. The existential threat can no longer be labeled as such. For these reasons, we accept the decision to decommission the Memorial Foundation space program. Let's talk to Europa again. Excited to be out in the field again, doing important work? We're a long way from anything important out here. I can't help but notice. You think Command wants you as far away from them as they can get you? What makes you think that? That you said it. That Command is my ex, and that I did once double-cross Memorial Foundation. In that case, you should be happy. You're in the field at all, and not in the brig or in the process of being shipped back to Earth. Well, I am. I'm so thankful. I don't need to be lied to about my work being important. Oh, I would never lie about a thing like that. In fact, the most lovely sixth planet of our solar system, Cronus, has become extremely busy in the past 24 hours. Major leak out of Celestial Mechanics has revealed they're finishing a prototype here. Cradle's Graces knows about it too. Apparently, the Hellion responsible for the leak has stolen it too. You're just the woman for the job. Reining in incorrigible pilots is your specialty. Let's see if that power can be used for good, for once. Europa, Please leave some of me left to fight the enemy. Don't shoot me down before the mission starts. Was I too mean? I would prefer direct combat. Any day. Well, let me tell you something nice then. That Cradle Grace's super weapon, your favorite, has been spotted in the system. My favorite? What do you mean? Don't play dumb. Make that same face whenever Krun Makula is spotted. It's the biggest mystery of their side. One of the only reasons Cradle Grace's hasn't collapsed right now. The Krun Makula's power is unreal. It's far stronger in reality than anything that could possibly have been projected from its original schematics. Its capabilities seem endless and impossible to predict or counter. And no one knows who the pilot is. The list of people who could pilot it, something like that, is very short, however. Maybe it's someone you know. Worried I might double-cross you again? I'm not with Cradle's Graces anymore for a reason. Oh, I just never trust you when girls are involved. Channel closed. Mission select. Okay, so we have to do both of these this time. So we do have to beat Pluto at least once. And then never again. Until we play the Pluto route. Pluto route. What's going on? You've been pestering me with orders. So, what's the sudden hold-up? Central said to launch immediately. We have to get to the Celestial Mechanics Lab regardless of whether or not the prototype is already gone. There's valuable information there, but it's worthless if Cradle's Graces gets there first. Have some patience, Lunaterra. The Cradle's Graces carrier just launched a completely unknown ship self. This can't be right. A person can't pilot a ship that big. Tidal resonance should tear the pilot apart. Is this impossible? I hope. I've never seen anything like it. And no, you can't fight it, Lunaterra. So don't even think about it. Any better ideas? I must be headed for where the prototype launched, right? Where else? Because they have to know that it already escaped. Don't underestimate your opponent, Lunaterra. Scavenging the lab may be useful anyway. Should have gone there for information, if nothing else. Even against an unknown and objectively stronger enemy? What makes you so sure, Lunaterra? No particular reason. Or a singular particular reason. Still don't trust me? Don't insult your former instructor, Lunaterra. You know how much to trust before you betrayed us to... I knew how much to trust you before you betrayed us to Cradle's Graces. My opinion hasn't changed because we welcomed you back into the fold. My best pilot and worst student. You've never been predictable except in your consistency for trouble, but it's a reliable metric. You're right. You know me. So if you're worried, don't have to let me have free reign like this. Since you were a kid from the earliest academy days, you've never been able to look in my eyes and lie. You only get away with anything by keeping your mouth shut. Very unlike Pluto, the hope of Cradle's Graces. She could lie right to my face, with a smile, if she thought it was for the best. Pluto exceeded the wildest expectations of the pilot program, so much so that it was decommissioned in part because of her. If Celestial Mechanics have successfully built a monster that can withstand her, this engagement will end in disaster. And that is much more terrifying than this machine you're so eager to fight. That concerns me far more than you betraying us or fighting a battle that you can't possibly win. I don't think any of you really understood what you were doing. Pluto is unreal, just far more overwhelming than any of you understood. If that ship is unworthy of Pluto, it's going to be torn apart under the pressure of her, not the other way around. Pluto is the only real human being. No wonder she feels so alien when she looks at us. You want me to let you take an impossibly dangerous mission because you think you can save our enemy? What can I say to that? Maybe she can teach you the lesson I can't. Ooh. Like waking up underwater to the wet burn of your lungs' desperation for air. Like floating untethered in space, unable to move under your own power. Losing the security of gravity is like being naked in space. Gravity is necessary for human life in space. Gravity is necessary for unrestricted movement in space. Can't have one without the other. The force that binds your existence together. The force to shape foreign bodies. Pure agency. Gravity is necessary not just to live in space, but to be human in space. But being human is a little harder for Pluto, so she has to work for it. The tidal forces of her spacefaring body, the Kroon macula, are as strong as she believes, and as weak as she feels. Ooh. And Lunaterra needs to make sure all of the calculations are in order. Everything in her ship operates manually. She's just been at it long enough that it feels like a second skin. The jolt of nostalgia interrupts Lunaterra's mental math. She forgets to carry the one. It interrupts Pluto's focus. And she has a moment where she's not invincible. Close enough to touch the surface of the Moon Lab, Lunaterra is seen and known by Pluto. They are suddenly falling down the well of too late. And nothing you can do. I knew it. Warning, gravitational interference. It's important to get a grip. Knowing that there's nothing you can do is something Pluto's considered freeing, and Lunaterra considers exciting. Feeling doomed is clear permission to do whatever. As soon as Mare Crisium is through the clouds covered... Okay. As soon as Mare Crisium is through the cloud cover, she fires solid light into the remains of the Celestial Mechanics lab and chases it through the wound. The lab was recently damaged by the illegal launch of a hijacked ship, but that damage is barely noticeable compared to the massive hole left by a much, much larger ship crashing through. Lunaterra acts fast under pressure. If there's no point in hiding, there's no point in stopping. It's true. Lunaterra is living on the whim of Kroon macula, which can probably do whatever to her at any time. If she can't run away, she wants to make the first move. Hi, Jojo! Hi, we're meeting Pluto! It's the sort of thing that makes a lot of sense if you think about it, and no sense at all if you think a little more. But that's Lunaterra, isn't it? She's betting you'll think too much, or not enough. Against Pluto, is that really such a good idea? She's someone who always thinks just enough. Which makes it easy for Lunaterra to slip through, deep into the lab until it gets quiet, except for the sense of the moon quaking and trembling. After almost a year, the dread and the thrill is way too much to slow down and start talking. That's what the arrow flying into Pluto's gravity well is saying. Who will make the first move? When Lunaterra punctures the last armor layer and opens up the terminal cavern, light spills out and screaming sound. Because the Kroon macula is peeling the lab and most of the moon inside out with the forces of its own tides. It's not something that's impossible or anything. It's just something that's only possible in theory, which is still terrifying, more terrifying, and more terrifying than that power is Pluto's finesse. And more terrifying than that finesse is her gentleness, spooling matter like threads in the tiny galaxy of which she is the sun. Her power is very kind, but it's also a little perverse. What meaning does mercy have for something that can core out a moon? Macula's developers compared it to a black hole. They wanted a machine so powerful and absolute, even light couldn't escape it. Lunaterra understands now that was wrong. She's a star, gushing and twinkling with matter and light. Who wouldn't be swept up in that? The Merecrisium is so small. Pluto has never seen it from a perspective like Macula before. She never imagined it would look so fragile from here, like a toy version of the fierce fighters she remembered. Rosie loves when I read out the description of the Macula. Pluto's sense of scale is true. Lunaterra feels just like a plastic toy, too. Okay, I have to figure out what voice I'm gonna use for Pluto. Come on, say something. It's making me sad. It really does fit you. So much more than I ever thought. Is it hard to look away? Being able to render you speechless is the power I've always dreamed of. What do you think? I know just a look won't change your mind, but I want you to tell me. Tell you what? That I regret betraying you? I told you then. I always would. No. I won't let you do that, Lunity. Did you think I'd be mad? I mean, of course I'm mad at you. But not for anything you did to me. I would never be mad at you for not having enough faith in me to see through Kratos Grace's dream of new boom for humans in space. I'm just mad at you for not having faith in yourself to see it through. And leaving all the work to me. Oops. Hey, guess that is why I'm a little upset with you. Not mad, you know. Just disappointed. I can't believe I'm still the one scolding you like a kid. I'm trying to be the grown-up, you know. I did the responsible thing. I took the realistic option. I'm here to play the part of the boring adult. A grown-up villain. Oh, that's right. I've remembered why I'm actually mad at you. You better not go down quietly. You better really believe what you just said. I'll forgive you if you left us for something stupid. But I'll never forgive you if we left us for something you don't believe in. And you better not believe in it, because I also want to forgive you for fighting for a future that cruel. That doesn't leave me a lot of options. I don't think I can fight against that. Don't you dare. I won't forgive that either. Were you hoping, maybe, that it wouldn't be like this? That I wouldn't have to fight? It'll change you. In ways you don't understand. I've seen you fight so many times. I saw when you got that scar and your poor ship got her wound. Has anyone else seen that side of you? As much as me? I don't think so. Not even Europa. But it's different when you're on the other side. You think I don't really know you because I've never stared down the barrel of your rifle or felt that knife nick my ship? It's a different kind of knowing. Teach me then. Or I'll teach you. Oh, he's gonna learn a lesson! The thing is, whatever I choose here is the opposite of whatever I choose when I'm playing as Pluto, so... Let's give Lunaterra a win. What's it gonna be, Lunati? Oh, right. You never want to make the first move. Then I can go. Pluto sweeps up the swirling, tumbling matter in the hollowed-out moon. Making the second move has always worked for Lunaterra. She's never been good at setting the pace, only outsmarting it, so it's the only move to make. Even still, maybe there aren't any winning moves. Lunaterra has to be ready for that possibility. The Crunmacula is very impossible sort of machine. Almost as impossible as Pluto. Crunmacula can grind space-time to a crawl with his tidal forces. Crunmacula can pull ambient matter into a whirl with enough friction for the combustion to give birth to a star. Emotionally, and almost as much physically. A tiny sun is born, but Lunaterra has just gotten out of the way. Lunaterra isn't where Pluto is expecting, and then there's suddenly a hail of bullets in her skull. Pluto doesn't mind the onslaught, but it's still shocking, but not in an unpleasant way. It's actually very joyful. Really? Really? You're not just trying to scare me? For real, not a joke, we're finally gonna have a fight about it? Is this body so me that you finally aren't going to be weird about fighting it? Lunaterra thinks Pluto could use a lesson in how terrifying actual combat can be. But is there anyone terrifying around to teach it to her? Are you trying to hide from me? I've been waiting for a real fight. I'm tired of you telling me you think I'm right. If you really thought that, you'd be here, on my side. So prove I'm wrong already. Or admit defeat! Bullets through her arm and chest and pretty much everywhere, but that is not a problem. Tear the bullets, even if they're light. Redirect them with gravity, pull them into a cosmic whirl. They will never even reach her. They will always be approaching, never meeting. They will be an infinite whirl. And that whirl will become a star, washing the Mare Crisium in heat and light and radiation. That's more like it. Not fast enough, Pluto. And that she runs Pluto through. It's not enough, but it hurts. It's serious. The brittle spear is of a cold and rational metal that repels cosmic concepts. Thank God. I was beginning to worry you didn't care about anything anymore. So here. The star is supernovas. Crunmacula holds the star, and Crunmacula is the star. Lunaterra almost doesn't get out of it. Her engines overheat. The electromagnetic current shorts her sensors, and her chassis is fried. But she can move more than Pluto can, at least for long enough to get away. Huh. But I'm still a little ahead of you. Now I know why everyone hates you so much. You're no fun to fight with at all. Are you kidding? Like you fight fair. Now that I know what you're really like, I'm not going to accept anything less. I don't want to do that again. Well, too bad. Whose fault is that? Yeah. I know. God, what a cool thing! What a cool little skirmish! Pluto is so cool. She's like a cool girl who does incredible things. And we're not gonna see her again. Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there will never be a planet Mars. That's a name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter Ares. But like the stringy, inedible weeds that grow when nothing else does, Cradle's Graces is dug in. We can't get them out. The colonies are wrecked, the terraforming engines are broken, gravity furnaces are out of control. There is no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. This planet doesn't even exist. It's an inert rock. There's no point in fighting. There's no need to fight. Ship cells can't keep you alive alone forever, and even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation NSES fleet already did. That's why there's barely any of us left, and why we can't get them out. What? Why don't I go home too? Leave all those idiots just to fucking die on a rock? What do you think we're doing this for? External communication sent on August 31st, 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops. Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. The planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life, and life is just the start anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made of tiny particles, but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made of tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It's really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. Enough humans can decide anything, and then it'll be true. Even about what's human and what's not. They don't even have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their fleet planet on the Earth is in fact not a human. It's a pretty usual way for humans to do. No differences of any kind need exist. We'll just be aliens, and then they'll send the real military after us, and we'll die. But if we just hold the line here for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well. And then we get to decide. Internal communication sent on January 25th, 1981 by Kratos Grace's Irregulars. It's morning on Ares, but what's time in space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled, and the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of the canyons on Mars where Kratos Graces and Memorial Foundations are bickering. Hold the city ruins against invading troops, and make sure no one tries to get to the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job. For me, I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space has ever been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock. The best we could have ever hoped for was Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of happening, we will ensure that happens. We'll finally have something alien in space. Private communication sent on January 26, 1981 by Celestial Mechanics researcher. Day 3. Receiving report. Alert. Report not accepted. Two errors detected. Error 1. A failure to explain why Celestial Mechanics' ship self, String of Pearls, was not successfully apprehended. Error 2. A failure to explain why Kratos Grace's ship self, Krun Macula, was not successfully incapacitated. Please correct errors before proceeding. Resubmit. Warning. No corrections submitted. Force resubmit. Generating new assignments. Penalty assignment. Sniper duty. Planet Ares. Currently held by Kratos Graces. Purpose. Preventing celestial mechanics. Fuel refueling and egress. Penalty assignment. Sniper duty. Kratos Graces held Planet Ares. Purpose. Top secret. Take out Kratos Graces prototype Krun Macula or on research assignment in Kratos Grace's territory. Penalty assignments cannot be refused. Indicate you have understood new orders. Why? Ready for gravitational catapult. Prepare launch to inner solar system. Memorial Foundation's gravity is also there, but it's not showing up quite so much. Kind of pathetic, really. Email. Subject. Halamede 1. Origin. Leaked data packet. Author. Second generational pilot candidate interviews. Oh. About Halamede. Why me? Well, because you're special. A special kind of child. All children are special. That's true. They are. I'm not more special than those children. We think you might be. Special how? You're the top of your class already at such a young age. We think that you might be able to do things that other children can't. My sister is better than me at all of those things. My Aunt Europa, when she was my age. We think you might be special in a different sort of way. Can you look at the box in front of you? Okay. Pass your hand over the box. Okay. Nothing happened. We're using an instrument to measure something that is very, very small, but moving it even so little that you cannot see it would be very important. How do I do that? You should not think about it. Just do it. I can't. I know you can. I can't. Your aunt and your sister could easily do as much, so you can do as much too. Oh, it moved. Did you get that? Yes, I saw it move. Literally saw it. Contact the director immediately. Subject, Unified Culture Theory. Origin, pre-installed reference material. Author, Memorial Foundation Introductory Literature. Unified culture theory is a brute forcing of defined solutions for the universe through the through the forcible elimination of all other possibilities. The theory is attractive to those who desire a beautiful, simple, endlessly complex solution for the universe. In order to develop this theory, there needs to be a solution for the Nix eversion paradox, which demands that anything not human exists in the everse. The most compelling current premise for a unified culture theory under contemporary physics models involves a full integration of all available concepts, directed and established in such a way as to maximize benefit for humanity. This theory of everything speaks to the desire to know, understand, and master the universe, while also incorporating a presence of universal love. Happiness for everybody, free, and let no one be left behind. Unlike tyrants of old that crushed alternative futures under their heels and only caused the existential enemy to blossom, such a unified theory would welcome and forgive all humanity and direct the benefit of things that are and that might yet be. We've got another message from Europa. Everyone loves to hear from her. Enjoying your missions? More thrilling than fighting the half-hearted troops left on Ares? Much, much more. I forgot what it was like to work this hard. I'm rusty. Are you unhappy with your progress? I don't know. Are you unhappy? I don't know. It's always been very hard to tell with you. I'm not sure if I can answer that question better than you. I've known you since you were freshly assigned to the first pilot wave. You are so delicate. And you've only become more delicate, even as you've become stronger. I didn't think you'd describe me back then as delicate. I saw it very clearly. Well, the other executives thought you were a scrappy pain in the butt. You were just scared. There's no point. There's no point in pretending otherwise. You just three through it. Because I haven't changed as much as I thought. Long ago, I saw a strong and delicate girl. I have worked hard to make you more than that. Rather than simply cultivating your strengths, understanding your weaknesses is needed to grow. Let me ask you again, and this time, focus. Count backwards from 20. Remember a moment of comfort. Oh, wait. Are you happy or unhappy? I don't know. Because I feel like I'm on the cusp of something. It's frightening. Yet it could be something amazing. That's a real feeling. Good girl. Are you blushing? Anyone would. I feel even more embarrassed than I did back then. Ah, that's an even better feeling to have. Hold on to that one. Their relationship is so interesting. I'm glad that I am concurrently playing 2 games about a mom that you want to fuck. Y'all, you think that you think that they have feet in space? Something to think about. I'm sorry, I only know how to make the bad jokes. I'll make a good one someday, but not today. Okay. I love you, Jaja Bean. You're my cutie patootie. Okay, right. Uh, now is when we start making the actual choice of who we are going to hang out with on this run. Uh, do I want to keep doing Saturn or do I want Pluto? I think I. It's a lot tougher after that first thing with Lunaterra and Pluto because that was so interesting, but also Saturn's so. She's such a little brat. I mean, like, given the choices that I have made, the decisions are between do I want Lunaterra to be cool or do I want her to suck ass? Uh, oh, I'll be doing both scenes on this one too? Really? Wait, do you do both scenes on all of them and I'm just fucking insane? Like, I've completely misremembered how this goes and I was just fucking around. What the fuck is wrong with me? Where the fuck did I remember it differently? Anyway, I guess that's how it's going to go. This is going to be a run where Pluto gets put in her place, and then Saturn comes and kicks Lunaterra's ass. I think that that's fine. That's normal. Well, let's do another one. Guard duty in Olympus City. Command is worried the Celestial Mechanics unit might try to escape while the fleet is launching, using the cityscape as cover. And they've just given up on catching them on Ares. Their only hope is them being that stupid. A ruined husk. Even Cradle's Graces isn't clinging to it. They're clinging to even the faintest sign of life on Mars. Excuse me. Ares. Well, it's boring, pointless work that no one wants to do. It's gonna make me wonder if someone's actually mad at me. You let the prototype escape, Lunaterra. The most generous assumption is incompetence, which from you, they have a hard time buying. That's not fair. I'm plenty incompetent. You should know that by now. You are only incompetent in the ways you wish to be. That's an awfully profound way to call me lazy. If you were simply lazy, you wouldn't go out of your way to find so much trouble to get in. That's the reason why this assignment is so disastrous as a punishment. Boring you is dangerous. I learned that very early on in your career. There's no way to make you sit still. Oh, maybe I'll try it this time. There's this good sniper spot with a view of the whole city. I won't move from there. Why does it sound less like you're promising to behave? More like you're going to brag about how much trouble you can get in without even moving. Either way, be sure to put me back in the front, right? Saturn gets no-scoped by Lunaterra, and Lunaterra gets a point-blank encounter. Well, we've already made our decisions, so... The balance shifts, because Saturn moved and Lunaterra couldn't. Got you. She does. Saturn is as good as already down. But so is Lunaterra. Yeah? Got you too. Pure spite got Saturn this far, and will get her even farther. She takes aim and fires. Lunaterra, perfectly still for the perfect shot, is perfectly unable to get out of the way in time. Saturn's string of pearls is laid out flat on her back, creaking and twitching. Lunaterra's mare Chrysium falls from her sniper shot like a burning star. Lunaterra wakes up first, but her flight unit is shot. It's hard to hide a ship that can't fly in a city, but the mare Chrysium is full of unfair tricks. Shooting her down is just the beginning. You have to catch her next. That's alright with Saturn. She's at her best when everything is in the dirt. She wakes up, she's ready. She might be in worse shape than Lunaterra, but worse shape is her best. String of Pearls skirts along the half-constructed city with the shape of ruins, the pristine finish of plastic toys still in their boxes. Looking for the hole Lunaterra is nestled in, and dodging her shots of protest. Reboot took longer than I thought. Ready or not, here I come. Hey, come out, come out, come out! You almost got me the last time you poked your head out to shoot. Try again! Aw, come on. I'm not babbling to trick you or anything. I'm just having a great time here. I'd love it if you'd stop making me feel like I'm just talking to myself. I can hear you just fine, Saturn. What? This isn't exciting enough? I guess that's why you're the ace pilot, LT. I need to have you on the ropes to taunt you and dodge at the same time. An ear-splitting crash. Impossible to tell which direction the shot came from. Cover around Saturn explodes. I'm an ace because I keep my priorities straight. That's not what I've heard! What have you heard? That keeping your priorities straight is the thing that you're the worst at. As pretty much your most obvious weak point. Maybe they don't know what my priorities are. Is getting shot down by an idiot with no combat experience high on your priority list? The building next to Saturn explodes. Is missing all the time high on your priority list? You really are a brat. Is getting harassed constantly by flirtatious brats high on your priority list? You're really on your toes today. I can't hit you with anything. Yeah, I'm having fun too. What a mess. I don't know why I'm laughing about it. We're having so much fun. I'm glad you think so. It's a funny kind of date, if you put it that way. Is this fighting? It's just play fighting. Keep playing with me. You should be careful, though. You never know what I might try next. I've got so many plans for dragging you out in the sun. Like what? Are they working on me? Of course. Stop underestimating me. I'm executing several plans as we speak. You're not at all ready, Lunatera. I'm not giving you any way out. You're not going to at least give me a hint? I'm at a disadvantage here. You can't trick me into giving it all away. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should be generous and let you know just a hint about one plan. You're generous. You should know this, but winning isn't my highest priority. It won't mean that I'm easy, though. Hey, we do think alike. No, at least on the first half of that. If you love winning, the stalemate of this whole conflict should bore you to tears. All that's left in space are second-choice pilots who suck at things like winning, no matter how good they are. I'm the second choice, but I'm the pilot that's here right now. No one else would have thought of the plan I did. Oh, I'm the second choice too, or I wouldn't be here. Is that great of a plan? Really? You? Oh, it's not a good plan. It's just that no one else would do it, because I'd have to be a freak to try to catch you on foot. First choice would never be sent to space in the first place. That does sound like a crazy plan to me. What would you even do if you found me? Assuming I'm standing still. I know it sounds like I'm showing off, but I couldn't beat you in a fair fight. So anything else is in my favor, right? Maybe it's the only way around that ghost ship of yours. How much of a genius you are. I can track any ship that I've hit once. I also have my ways of being hidden, so you could never find me. You're right. But you haven't used them. Maybe not. Also, did you know that your Merecrisium has a manual bypass for opening the cockpit? Yes. Oh, good. But I'll knock anyway. The gentle hiss of pressure, and the cockpit opens. Oh! Hi! You look a little different. Not nearly so smug. And you look a lot different. Oh, God. I had the wrong ones. I was using the wrong ones. I gotta go back. Hi. You look a little different. Not nearly so smug. And you look a lot different. I'm remembering it now. You were such a good girl and never would have thought that was you. You're smiling, Lunatera. Did something good just happen? You must really trust me to come unarmed. Why would I need to be? I win! I'd say I'm pretty dangerous just like this. You think of everything. Never mind. You do look infuriatingly smug for someone I just beat. Step away from the controls. Sure, sure. I'm not laughing at you. I'm impressed. You know, even still, even in a fake fight, you have no respect for. No one takes me this seriously. I'm the Memorial Foundation ace, but just by default. After the good ones left. So I don't mind losing to you, since you think you're so cool. Lunatera kneels by the controls, hands up. They're still in reach. Saturn climbs the open hatch. No sudden movements, and I don't think you're cool. What do you want now? My ship? Me? You're both useless. I'll decide that. I don't need your ship out of commission. Gonna be much cooler than you very soon. And then I'll beat you sort of fair and square. But maybe I should reprogram this ship to be absolutely sure. Lunatera whips her around so fast Saturn's pinned in the cockpit seat before she can tell how it happened. Sorry, but touching there isn't allowed. So, where is touching allowed? You are absolutely much more dangerous without a gun. LT's hand is on Saturn's collar, and her other on Saturn's wrist. Saturn slips her free hand down LT's arm. So, how about here? That's fine. What about here? I won't stop you. You don't mind if I touch your face, but you won't let me touch your ship? Some places on the ship are fine. Some places on me are fine. Which do you want to know right now? Is this... Damn it. So how's unbuttoning my shirt going? It's harder than it looks at that angle with just one hand, huh? Just make out with me, you heinous bitch! Lunatera had this idea, but instead she forgets it. She finds she's let her grip go slack, and Saturn's nearly leapt out of the chair to kiss her. That thought is a little surprising, but her body made the right call. In the moments in between, when she was too busy overthinking it, Saturn seems a little less mad. Saturn seems a little mad about that smug face Lunatera is making. Bites Lunatera's lip as they kiss. It doesn't encourage Lunatera to stop being like that. This is absolutely insane. Are you kidding? What could possibly be a better use of your time? Don't tell me duty is why you're fighting out here. You would have stopped me before I opened the hatch. You're not just here for fun. You're not doing this just because there's no point, and you're killing time before the wall collapses one way or another. Obviously, I can be short and still make out with you. Would it disappoint you if I wasn't? Oh. Would it disappoint you if I wasn't? Oh, don't make that face. I can tell it would. That's good though. I feel the same way. I wouldn't have let you flirt if that's just all you were. How can you be sure? Looks like I know something you don't. Even if it's just one thing. I'm always the last to know. You always make it seem like you know what you're doing. I'm just acting I'm just acting on instinct. My body knows what to do. Then you should be asking her. She'll know just what to do. It's nice when girls make out. It's nice when gravity is dwelling in a big way. We've got males. We've got comms. So, I have to ask, how do you really feel about me coming back to Memorial Foundation? You were a loyal and efficient ace pilot for Memorial Foundation for the entire Cold War against our alien and ultimately irrelevant existential threat from beyond the system. Then, you were perfectly loyal to the pilots left adrift by the decommissioning of the pilot program and colonization project. Now you're perfectly loyal to Memorial Foundation again. You haven't betrayed our side at all. That's a generous reading. You've betrayed plenty of love-struck pilots. Your political loyalty is impeccable. So, even if Halamede doesn't trust or forgive you, I welcome your return. It's not going to be a problem that she doesn't. Oh, she welcomes your return the most, but keep on your toes. That one, I don't have any questions about. Keep your friends close and your exes closer. Except if you're not still suspicious of me for betraying Memorial Foundation. How about her? Oh, that I'll be mad at both of you for a very long time. Please don't worry about it, however, as you both made each other suffer more than enough to make up for your youthful indiscretions. Honestly, the two of you hooking up to somehow get at me was the most hilarious part. You ended up punishing each other more than I could have. Can we talk politics again? I think I get the picture already. That's not to say that the two of you didn't still have a lot of lessons to learn from the experience. Once I'm sure you've learned them, your punishment will be over. I'm suddenly very interested in hearing about factions again. Oh, on that note, I'm not as worried. Just remain true to what you believe in, Lunaterra. Fascinating. Another email from Europa. My kids are idiots. Also, they're not my kids, and also they're not kids anymore. Please stop calling them your kids when they are my students, not my children. I'm not being pedantic. I am not doing it to avoid being attached. I'm already more attached than is best. Don't encourage it. They're grown-ups, and also fools. Mars is the most genius pilot, but she's just as much a fool as everyone else. She does nothing but cry and complain and win effortlessly, like a real hero. If she was a boy, then they would call her that. You wouldn't be asking me who the best pilot is. You just know. Only in space would that girl be allowed to be a hero. She deserved her moment in the sun. She might win the war for us, single-handedly. Anything else that isn't her story will just blip off the will just be a blip of fate off in the sky. That's easy. She's going to win the day. When the others interfere, they're not going to steer the course of the future any more than a little bit to the left or right of the course that Mars is sailing. I am not going to interfere. Valuing their independence is important. They'll be adults soon, and they won't be anyone's kids. Insist on the comparison, and it will become clear how far we are from fulfilling that role for them. For my part, I don't wish to forget that there are limits to what we can do, and who we can be. Though, yes, as a matter of fact, I am tired of them calling me Dad. Sorry, Europa. It's tough to be a butch in space. Secular Astrology Explained, Part 1. Origin, Achieved Message Retrieval. Author, Pilot Mars. I don't know why you suddenly asked about this, and I'm not the person who knows anything about it. But sure, I guess. I learned all of this from Pluto, so you could have just asked her? Too nervous, huh? I see right through you. Well, because I feel sorry for you, I'll tell you all about it. Venus, Lunaterra, and Mars are the interpersonal distances. If Venus is the breath of the body and Mars is the blood, Lunaterra is flesh and represents skin to skin distance. That's why it represents family. The Earth and the Moon are different, but they are parts of the same thing, a two in one. Certainly the moon also represents something different, but it's also a part of us. When you think of it as a dark side, you forget that it's composed of your own same flesh. It's not your mirror, it's your back. Mars is the beneath the skin distance, and that's blood, but it's also, well, the way that humans communicate not skin to skin, but beneath skin to beneath skin. Get it? Don't make me spell it out. It's the reason for fucking and fighting to feel really similar sometimes. Plato said the other day, it's like you two only know that one language, and that's the only thing you ever do in it. The solar system maps out a human body, and by colonizing the planets, a greater human body will exist, with the sun as the inseparable totality of it all. as a philosophical justification. But it's kind of romantic, right? Maybe it's kind of fake, though. Okay, that's about 2 hours, which is what I set for myself as like a time I would be doing this. That's a save. I think that was a good stream. I am not feeling lost. I know what I'm getting into. I know what scenes I have done and what scenes that I have not done. I'd say that I am in a good position to continue playing and enjoying this. The concepts are not overwhelming me this time, and I do not feel like I am getting uh the wrong output for my inputs. Oh, thank you, Jojo. Uh yeah. I feel like by curating my experience I am getting the best out of it. I think that Lunaterra is very interesting. I am glad I have a little background on Saturn, uh, because I feel like Saturn scenes are like more than anything written very much like you play Saturn first, so you get the full picture of her. Uh, and I have enough of a picture of Saturn to sort of understand what she's going through at least. So even if it was a poor experience at the time, I am glad that I at least tried Saturn for a while. So I had context. I would be having a much worse time if I was like, I'll choose Lunaterra as my first character. Uh, which is as it is. Uh, but yeah, Pluto, very self-explanatory, very easy to understand what the relationship there is. Uh, and Saturn is fun enough with knowing who she is and what she's struggling with to an extent. I'm enjoying Lunaterra. She's just the loser sad sack, fucking pathetic woman. I'm happy. I'm happy with the little routes that I have chosen. That is okay, Rizzy Bear. I will see it when I play Pluto. Which is interesting. Like from what you are saying, uh yes. From what you are saying, I am assuming that the way that these are written, specifically for Lunaterra is only going to get uh romance if she betrays uh her faction by being a loser and getting her ass kicked, which is an interesting thing to think about. I wonder if that's true in the reverse of any other pilot. I wonder if that's how Saturn works, where if she beats people up, she gets everything she ever wants. We will see. But yeah, uh, knowing what I am getting into has made this a much more interesting experience. The writing isn't like 100% getting me. It's super high concept. Uh, but I am enjoying the ride, and that's kind of what matters. Uh, and yeah, I will continue playing these for as long as I feel like playing them or reading them out. Uh, to some extent. I hope that was okay. I just thought it would be boring if we were reading a thing and it was just like me going, and oh. Wowie! Every time. Uh, and I'm looking forward to getting at least one of the endings, at which point I will decide whether I feel like playing some more. But yeah, I am going to take a couple days. Uh, I might stream tomorrow, depending on what shift I get for tomorrow, since it is a standby, and it is possible the depot will give me something good for that standby. Uh, I do not think they are going to give me another full-time shift, that's for fucking sure. Uh, so yay, that's nice. Uh, and whatever happens, happens. After that, I will be doing my work week that I don't want to be doing. That is still a moderate improvement over what I would have been doing otherwise. I'm just mad I didn't get a better deal. But such is life. Uh, but yeah. I hope y'all had a nice time listening to this game with horrible sounds. Uh, that it makes that are interesting ambiance in their own right. Uh, I think that the mech stuff is cool. It's way cooler to like interact with Mercurium being always bleeding for the pilot scene. I'll tell you that much. What a cool fucking ship. uh, but yeah. Uh, Thanks for showing up. Sorry to put complete silence over this part of the stream. Uh, and I will talk to y'all individually later. Uh, bye bye,